I'm feeling kind of ragged, and I feel like I probably look kind of ragged. I've sick for a week, and then yesterday, for some reason, I just had some horrible dizziness in the morning. But it's doggy time, and it's also a chance to talk about something that is a concern to a lot of people. If you follow Bart K and quite a few other people, you might hear about the value of being grounded. And then you might look at the cost of a grounding bedsheet and go, oh, well, that would be nice, but not for me. There's something you can do a lot cheaper. I wear rubber soled shoes, which means I'm not grounded when I have my shoes on, which I currently don't. I'm sitting around the house with my shoes off. But one thing you can do is get these cheaply on Amazon. This is the Static Care ESD adjustable heel strap grounder, and they come one in a package because there's not really that much time when you've got one foot up and the other one down. So I'm going to show. There's my rubber soled shoe that I don't have on. And this gizmo at the end is a heel strap. You put it on the heel of your shoe, whether you've got a recognizable heel or not. And then this gray ribbon, that part of it goes inside under your foot. I'm gonna put my phone down and actually put the shoe on now. And there's a Velcro strap that allows you to snug it up. Yeah, the light is not amazing because we do not have clear, cloudless days right now. Okay, I'll change my camera now. There is my foot in the shoe. The contact ribbon is under my foot, inside the shoe. And I wear it with socks. Usually, any warmth at all, and even on a day that's not warm, you will have a little bit of sweating to your foot just from having it inside a shoe. And then the Velcro goes over the top, bring it as snug as you want. But what this does for me is I can go to the grocery store without it and get static shocks the whole time. I mean, oh, I touch a shelf, zap. I touch a freezer door, I'm going to open up and take out something, zap. It's just shock after shock after shock. I wear this little strap. No. And for a very low cost. Now, it won't give you that, oh, we're going to sit and watch the telly, constant grounding, because, oh, I'll put my feet on the grounding mat and I'm good there for an hour or two. Well, you shouldn't be sitting still for an hour or two. You're not meant to. You're not designed to be sitting still all the time. I do video when I'm outside with a sidekick. Hey, buddy. Hey, buddy. Show your pretty face. There you go. You're my friend. Yeah, I do my sitting down time, as rare as it is, when I'm outside with him. So I'm on the back steps, and there's his little playpen on the ground so that he can go down and move around without a leash on. And And he can go potty when he wants. We don't have a dog flap, but I'll bring him out here a bunch and he can sniff at the weeds. And okay, I'll admit there's more grass than weeds, but he doesn't need me walking him to a specific spot and telling him it's time to go and that's where he's gonna go. If we were doing it that way, which my daughter does do exactly that because the little guy needs some exercise. But I try to give him that relaxed time out when he can sniff the breeze, sit on the steps, sniff at the grass, whatever. No stress. Everybody needs some no stress. Even the funny little dog. Huh, buddy? You're my buddy? You're my buddy? He's like, don't tell on me, mommy. Don't tell on me. Hello, Rex. Not sure who you are, but oh well. But, in carnivore space, you'll hear a lot of people saying, oh, you can buy this cheap food and you can buy that cheap food and you can eat carnivore without spending a fortune. Well, guess what? You can ground without spending a fortune. Even if you can't just sit around outside with your shoes off like I can. I got a little bit of a drink. Here we go. I need to go inside and put my egg yolks into my cup and pour some hot water. Drink some food. Normally, and then I have this in other videos from before I found out that I could tolerate egg yolks, but I will tell people not to drink their calories, but when it comes to egg yolks, I'll drink some. Oh. Allergies can be so frightening. My eye just won't stop bothering me. But I had in mind to tell people about using heel grounders today. So here I am doing it. Heel grounders. Like I said, it comes packed up like this. The ribbon is actually quite long. So if you're more inclined to wear boots, you can put it on the heel of a boot. There are some people who need to be electrically isolated because they're working with electricity. You don't want to invite electricity to just flow through you. But for the most part, we belong grounded. It's how we evolved, if you believe in evolution. And it's how we're designed, if you believe in intelligent design. I'm not going to have that argument with you. But like I said, these are available on Amazon really cheap. I will post the link. Obviously, I bought this, so I must have the information. The dog is cursing his containment at the moment because one of the neighbors is walking down the street. He would love to be a Chihuahua and go rush him. Proper Chihuahuas do that. Chihuahuas are horrible dogs. But I do like my guy. He is a loyal little dog. He is everything you could want a small dog to be. And he's loud. Now, this one, I've been using it for about a month. Sometimes I have to pull some dog fur out of the Velcro strap because he likes to lay on my shoes, or maybe he's just cuddling up to them at night. Italian girl, you can, but you don't have to. So if you happen to like, that dish that is made, oh, what is it? Pounded flat beef, and you put the pieces on a plate, and then you put some capers and maybe a little bit of diced shallot and some oil. If you like that, do it. If you don't want to do that, don't do it. I mean, seriously, it's what you want. I like lamb, but it tends to be prohibitively expensive in the US. And we still have lamb producers, so they must be making some money doing it. A great deal of lamb eaten in the US is shipped in from New Zealand. I have yet to see how that's going to play out. When I was a little girl, I saw my father eating just a little bit of raw hamburger because he was putting burger patties on the grill. I didn't bother telling anyone. But I think if a great many people of different generations are all living together, something may be purchased that the intent of it was to feed everybody. And if someone's getting an extra serving, then it just, it may be they're taking an unfair amount by getting some before it's cooked and getting some after it's cooked. Oh, I love it. I've also done steak tartare with the egg yolk on it. It's pretty tasty. I like the carpaccio better. I eat sushi and sashimi and carpaccio and tartare, and I really don't have any desire to eat pork raw or to eat chicken raw. It's okay, puppy. Yeah, the little dog is probably confused. That's true too. You said it was your great grandmother. But at the same time, people who are getting sufficient fats to maintain brain health typically are not going to be the ones suffering from dementia. And you take a perfectly healthy older person and put them on statins, and you might wind up with a case of dementia in the family. Take them off statins, and you might see them recovering from what had been diagnosed as an incurable, unrecoverable case of dementia. Although I think if you truly see people, killing a chicken is just Um, yeah, you've got a little laughy on there now, but laugh emojis. It's just the realities of food. We need to replace proteins every day, and that requires eating meat. If you don't have something to eat sitting around that's already been slaughtered, then you go out and you grab a chicken and you dispatch it. Although it is normal for anyone who has not been exposed to that to be a little leery of it. I actually took a class. A friend and I were at a big event, a homesteading style event, and we signed up for a class that was about how to put this nicely so that YouTube is not unhappy with me. It was about processing a chicken from a live status to dispatched, no feathers, ready to be cooked status. And that was kind of fun and also kind of funny. The instructor spent some time telling us how tightly packed everything in the abdominal cavity is, and how it's very important you get everything out. You want to do this without bursting the gallbladder. And he proceeds to demonstrate how to burst the gallbladder. And he wasn't a particularly big guy, so probably hands about the size of mine. Um, Hard to say how big that is, but I have small hands. And he tries to do a clean grab of all the gut package, I guess you could call it, the abdominal contents. Burst the gallbladder, sprayed right in his face, and then he had to go wash his face off. Because you don't want chicken bile on your face while you're trying to have a class. But it probably stuck in my mind better because that happened. Italian girl, your body uses cholesterol and salt in every single cell. Everyone. And in your blood plasma. And, you've got salt. We make jokes. I don't know if you've ever watched Star Trek, but there's a joke about humans being ugly bags of mostly water. Well, we're ugly bags of mostly salt water. And so we need sweat, any little bit of secretion, blow your nose, whatever. You spit on the sidewalk. Hope you don't, actually. But, there's salt coming out all the time. We need to put it back. And anything that damages or loses cholesterol, we need to put back. We use up cholesterol in our biochemistry, all the hormones you make, including your insulin and ghrelin. You start off at the top of that biochemical book, let's call it that, and you use cholesterol to make something, and then your body makes something else, and something else, and something else, and something else. And about 5 pages down the way, you run into things like your estrogen and testosterone. You need those too. And your insulin, and your bile. And bile's not a. I don't think it's a hormone, but it is a necessity. You cannot digest your fats, whether you're eating plant fats or animal fats, without bile. And you need that. Yeah, there's no requirement of killing your own food these days. You can buy everything you need at the grocery store and avoid the ick factor because it's messy. When it comes to chickens, there's feathers everywhere. But it's yeah, I'm out here. It oh okay. I'll move over. Yeah, brief interruption there. But yeah, someday we'll be food for the plants and the worms and the bugs and stuff. Especially if we switch to cleaner burial methods. I don't think it's necessary to soak a person in formaldehyde just because they're not alive, you know? What, puppy? What you doing? He's sniffing at the packet with the heel grounder. It's okay, buddy. What's the matter? You're being a good boy. You're so quiet right now. Well, he must have been in real good shape when he got talked into taking them. That's all I can say. If you can't talk him into not taking them. Although the day may yet come when you have to make that decision for him. Although if he's in good shape, something else might get to him before you have to be in a position where you're making decisions. I'm taking a look. The heel grounder does not say how long the ribbon is that goes inside the shoe. Italian girl, worry about the possibility of diabetes too. There really is no evidence that statins are doing anyone any good, except the people who get paid to give them to you. They get to keep their job, and the company that produces it at whatever dosage. I mean, maybe it would be possible to get him to a lower dose. Because if you wrung out your brain, if you take a human brain and reduce the water until it's just a wadded up mess, you'd have a lump of mostly cholesterol. And you're supposed to think and function with that. If you could snap your fingers and remove every bit of cholesterol in a person, they would die. That is a bit of magic I'm quite happy does not exist. And there's a reason people learned to crack open the skulls of what they were scavenging. Yeah, Dyson, he's, it's like a vacuum cleaner. But when people started to consume meat, their brains grew. It took a long time. I still believe in God. I still believe there was a plan for our brains to grow, or we would not have been able to get to maximum capacity as we did. But the fats were so necessary in our development as humans and pre-humans and pre-humans. People were scavenging the kills of larger predators, cracking the bones to get to the marrow, and cracking open the skull. I mean, we've got thumbs, we can use a rock. And that made it possible for us to access the bone marrow and the brain. Most of the time, you don't hear about lions engaging with tools to crack open a brain case and eat the brain, right? They're not built for it. They're built to eat the muscle. And as much as they can chew off of the bones as they can. And the fact is, we're able to eat pretty much like that. Oh, the dog? He was a baby, but our getting him was a bit of a sad day. We'd been out Christmas shopping, and we came home and found this little ragged bundle of sticks trying to die in the front yard. And my husband had some kind of compartmentalized pain going on in his shoulder, and he uttered a foul word and leaned back against the vehicle that at the time was the one that my daughter would drive quite often, because it had room for her children and their car seats and diaper bags and all of that fun stuff that goes with raising children. I'm thinking he's maybe suddenly having even more pain than he'd had while we were shopping. And he's looking down at the ground. And here's this little blonde, like I said, ragged bundle of sticks trying to die. He had looked for a place to curl up in the sun, so he was inside the coiled garden hose. Just kind of laying there, and the daughter came to check what was up, and there he is. And it's like, we gave him a bath and fed him, and he's been ours ever since. Yes, oh, hi, Bob. Folks, Bob gets more lives and more videos done than I do. So if you have a chance to check out Semi-Retired Bob's channel, that's good. Bob, I was just describing and demonstrating the use of a very cheap grounding option for people who are watching their budgets. If you wear rubber-soled shoes, which so many of us do, a heel grounder is something great to use. Now I'm gonna do something. There we go. Turn the channel. And you can see where this the contact ribbon, I should call it that. They just call it the ribbon on the instructions. It's very long. You can put it on with hiking boots, cowboy boots even. It might be resting down your calf. You can use it with socks on. You can use it without socks, as I've got here. You can stuff it in your sock if you want. You can put it just in your shoe with your sock on top. But it's a very cheap option. I could see them being up to $6 or $7 by now, but they're made in China, so they might be going up even more. There might be some American-made options. I have no clue. But people need to know there are options. If you have particularly delicate feet, you may want not to be sneaking about or walking about in your yard with your shoes off. But I'm not that delicate, which is a good thing because I've got, like, goat heads and other grass burrs and things that sprout occasionally. Of course, I also have things that are just fun to see. Yeah, puppy. Yeah. It's just outside time. And so I'm getting my red light. And like I said, I've said this before, I follow Sarah, Dr. Sarah, the Busy Superhuman channel. She is outstanding, and she was discussing red light with somebody, and they had some images. I don't know which one of them had the images, but it came up during the video. What do people look like under red light? And the fact is, red light scatters like the x-rays out of a TSA machine. So even when it's cloudy, guess what? You're getting plenty of red light. You're just not getting toasted. And if you're in a vehicle, you want to put one window partly down when you're able to. I mean, not when there's high wind and dust blowing everywhere. But that red light that's scattering, it's bouncing off of things. I mean, pretty much the only things that stop red light getting to you are if you're far enough into a cave, or you're into your home, or in your vehicle with the windows up, because even the modern glasses are the glass we've got in windows and such. That interferes. It does. But if you get out even a bit, like old guy carnivore Mitch, he has an enclosed porch, but if he's got the option to have more screen, as in window screen, and less glass, then that red light's getting to him. And the more at risk someone is, for a variety of things, the more the grounding will be good for them. The more the red light will be good for them. The more the cholesterol will be good for them. I don't know about the more cholesterol your brain needs part, because some, oh, if you can use some natural fats when you're cooking, especially if he's eating with you, your brain is going to need the same cholesterol it has always needed. The problem is, if we're eating the canola oil and the safflower oil and the peanut oil and all that nonsense, your body, in desperation, will start putting those wrong fats in where it wants to use good fats. So if it's your job to make breakfast and he comes down and there's real butter on the toast, if he has the habit of just sitting down and eating what he's fed, then make his plate first, put it on the table, and call him, and give him the things he actually needs. Because the way a statin works does not stop your body from interacting with the cholesterol you eat. Not at all. It just prevents the liver from making the LDL boat. I mean, your bloodstream is essentially a water, and your lipids, your fats, are not water. They're fats. And what will happen if you try to mix fat and water? You wind up with a mess on the inside of the pipes, right? Well, your body makes the LDL as a kind of submarine. It's a boat. And it packs the lipids into that. And then those go in your bloodstream around and around without getting stuck. Unless you have those places where there's a lot of turmoil, a lot of glycation damage, and that's where you get the atherosclerotic plaques that your doctor claims to be worried about. But if he was, he would not be prescribing. All cholesterol is the same molecule. LDL just happens to be a large, low-density lipoprotein boat. HDL is a smaller particle. It's also made in your liver. And triglycerides seem to be made, if I understand it correctly, when your body is trying to decide what to do with the carbohydrates that you eat. I don't recommend eating carbohydrates. Yep, and you want to have your triglycerides number lower than your HDL number. I don't know why they think HDL is so good and LDL is so bad. But they'll always say, ooh, this is a bad cholesterol. No, it's not. It carries more of the lipids inside the structure that carries it in the bloodstream. And, okay, that makes sense. Now, there are sodas in the world that don't have the brominated vegetable oil and similar nonsense in it that you sometimes see in American sodas. That there's no reason for at all. Things that didn't exist at the turn of the century when Coca-Cola and other things were coming out. At the turn of the last century, I should say. Because that stuff's been in those things since I was a kid. Okay, looking on my phone, it looked like there was some blue sky up here. There isn't. It's just the darkness of the clouds. And I'm wondering if someone's toddler is screaming or if a bird has a particular strange call. The one bird right there sitting up on top of a power pole is clacking a lot. He's flying away now. It rained last night, so the birds are having a good feed on the bugs today. The bugs that would normally be down in the soil, they would have gotten soaked and not been able to stay down. Oh, still rubbing my eye. Sunshine in Washington. Washington, D.C. or Washington State? Oh. Robins are still pretty normal to see on the east side of the Rocky Mountains, but it's sad that you're not seeing them. My dad used to have a dog named Shadow. We still have Dad, but his dog didn't last this long. And Shadow had a pet robin. He would feed her outside. He would always leave some of the food for her bird. And I think her bird taught its mate to come and eat the dog food with it, which I thought was hilarious. The problem I'm having is not over the eye, it's right in the corner. So even if you see me like this, I'm rubbing this area. Oh, close to Idaho. Okay, Spokane, I know where that's at. I've actually been to Idaho and quite a few other places. I used to do, anyone might laugh at me for saying this, but I used to do search and rescue in the Northern Rockies. Wyoming, Montana, Colorado, Idaho. And I think Utah is part of the Rocky Mountain region, too. But, yeah. Snow up to your hips and hiking around, trying not to slip on the rocks you can't see because they're under the snow. Yeah, stayed pretty interesting. I think we're just about done with outside time. Yeah, the worst allergies are food allergies. Can you imagine being allergic to something that goes into almost every form of spice blend on the market? And coriander. It's the seed of the plant we know as cilantro. So many spices I don't use because they have coriander mixed in, and so many things I don't eat because they put cilantro on top. Texas is covered with cilantro. You can go to a breakfast place and find that the breakfast sausage has coriander in it, and the breakfast tacos have cilantro on them. And fennel. I'm allergic to fennel too. But those are plants, and if you're just not eating plants, it's easy to avoid them. Hey, the sun came out. I'll put my glasses back on now. But not uptight because I let the light come in behind them. Like I said, that red light backscatters like a TSA machine. It bounces around. If you're outdoors and your glasses are not tight to your face, then you'll be getting some red light that way. I mean, besides what comes in through your skin. You have a great day too. Um, Eat something that's good for you and get some exercise when you can. I've got to get back in my exercise groove because I've been sick for a week. I was hoping I would have the energy to get up and go to the gym today. Oh, we're at 49 minutes of live. That's not bad. Usually my lives are a little bit shorter. But I have to go find the link for the heel grounders. Although if you just put heel grounder in a search on Amazon, or if you look amongst grounding straps and shoe grounders, heel grounders, etc., you'll be able to find it easily enough. But yeah, I'm getting a little hungry. I need to go drink my egg yolks. But first I'm gonna go in the bedroom and kick my shoes off. I don't get a lot of electrical, static shocks at home, so I'm not as worried about it here. But I've been wearing a heel grounder when I go to the grocery store, because it's like every freezer case, every shelf, like zap, 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 zap. All those little static shocks. We're not supposed to be having those. And the sun is not out, it's just a little brighter than it had been. You do what you can. And if you decide to go carnivore, you'll be surprised how fast your body will adapt, and you'll have maybe less, maybe not. It's hard to say. But if you can ground, I mean, you can go to the thrift store and find shoes with natural soles. You can wear heel grounders; they're cheap. You can step outside barefoot. You don't want to stand on cement. You want to get where it's grass, regular soil. Yeah, I think you mostly did. I mean, Bob came by and a couple other people waved, but that is often the case with unscheduled lives. But we try to do them. I mean, a lot of people try to schedule. Um, I don't live by myself, so scheduling a live can be a little difficult. Now, it is almost 11:30, and the neighbor's rooster is going nuts. He might just be happy that a little bit of sun came through, or he found some good bugs or something. I have no idea. But if you hear the crowing, just a little ways east of me, that's a stupid rooster going off in the middle of the day. Okay, bye, Italian girl. Be safe, okay? And try to be healthy. Take 5 extra steps if that's all you've got in your day that you can do. That'll be exercise. Eating healthy is the beginning, though. Give your body what it needs, and it'll take care of you longer. Oh, I actually should probably grab some blocks and head out and fuel up my vehicle. Of course, the cheapest place in town to fuel up is way over by the interstate and at the farthest north part of town. But going that direction is a lovely park. I was considering enjoying the walking paths in. But the last time I went to Berry Springs Park, it was not a good day for them, apparently. There was a law enforcement vehicle there with the lights on. I think there was another one with the lights off. And a park caretaker looking particularly ragged. And at that point, You don't ask for an explanation. You just say, I'll go amuse myself somewhere else. Don't make their day worse, right? It's like, why can't I? There would be some types who would be going, why can't I use the park? It's a public park, blah, blah, blah. Nah. If he looks that ragged and he's not having a good day, then it's not time to be at the park. So I didn't get to go to the park that day. But like I said, it's time to go in and drink some egg yolks or something. Yep. It's 11:30 in Texas. And it's a lovely green morning. The trees are green, the grass is green, the weeds are green. Apparently chickens do not like the color red. All that behavior that is, ascribed to bulls and red, and that's why the matador has a red cape. Now, that's the roosters. Okay, y'all. But it is time for me to go inside, so take care. Grandma loves you and wants you to be okay. Alright, bye bye.